In this video, we're going to show you how to install headlights on your Nissan Quest located on the front side of your vehicle. Using a 21mm socket, loosen and remove your lug nuts. Remove your wheel. Once you've completed this, repeat for the passenger side. Now with the vehicle raised, on the leading edge here, we have a splash shield. This is a series of plastic retainer clips. We need to remove all these here and then pull the shield down. Some of these clips are going to be fragile. Be prepared to source some replacements. And just continue to remove all these here around the perimeter until the shield comes down. Remove our upper cover here. Our particular vehicle has a Phillips head screw center. Use your trim tool to pop out the center and then remove the base. Repeat this for the other 5. Using a T20 Torx bit, we want to loosen and remove these screws. Now our particular vehicle was in an accident. You may have different hardware holding the bumper to the wheel well liner. With the screws removed, you want to go ahead and peel the fender liner back. And right up here we have a 10mm bolt that secures the bumper to the fender itself. I want to loosen and remove that. Repeat for the other side. Along the lower portion of the bumper, we have 2 T20 Torx bit screws. I want to loosen and remove these. Once we do this on the driver's side, repeat for the passenger side. On the lower corner right here, remove this T20. Ours is broken, but you want to remove this here. Repeat for the passenger side. Underneath this fender liner here, we're going to peel this down. It's going to give us access to our particular model. It has fog lights. We want to go ahead and disconnect this connector. Work that off. It's full of debris. And then we have this little harness here. If you go on the back side of it, you can feel little tabs. I'm going to use my needle nose pliers to gently pinch those tabs and disconnect the harness. Here's the little tabs we have to pinch in on. Let's repeat this for the passenger side. In order for us to pull our bumper and grill off, right here in the center of the grill, or the center of the fins, but on the outer portion, there's a hole. Now, inside this hole, what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for something that looks like this. So there is a square hole, and on the front of it is another square, and it's kind of rotated crooked, and there is a slot in the middle of it. What we're going to do is we need to put our screwdriver into the hole, into this notch, and we need to rotate this. We're going to try and go clockwise until this lines up with the back hole and unlocks it. There is one on the passenger side as well. Let's repeat this for the passenger side. Now, if we lift up the upper portion of the grill, I'm using a angled pick here. And on the base, there's going to be a series of these black tabs here. We need to get underneath and lift up in the center. And we need to do this across all of the clips here and pull the grill out, separating it from the bumper. Now, along the bottom of the grill is going to be a series of those black tabs I just shown you. There's one on the outer edge here on both sides, the driver and passenger side, that you can only access through the wheel well area. So let's go ahead and show you how to get that. Peel back the liner. We try and pull that bumper out, and it's right here. So I'm going to use a pick, and right here on this bottom tab, push in and out. Then we should be able to grab a little bit from the outside and pull that a little bit. We're going to repeat this process for the passenger side, and then we'll work on the center clips. On the outer tabs that we just accessed through the wheel well, we had to push up on the tabs to release the lock on the grill. As you come more inboard, the tabs themselves have to get pressed down to release the lock. Now that we released all the inner clips, we just slide this out. So on our tabs here, the little lock tab on this one here needs to get pushed up. As you come across, this particular one was broken, but this one here presses down, 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 up, and up. So you want to make sure that you're releasing these center tabs properly using your pick or screwdriver to work those out. The last two buttons that are holding our bumper into place are placed right here. Use your trim tool to hop on in here, pop out the center and remove this. And repeat for the other side. Where the bumper meets the fender, there's going to be a retainer clip in here that locks it in together. So you're going to come around the edge here, behind the fender liner, and gently pull outward. That off and move the bumper to the side. On the inboard lower portion of the headlamp is a 10mm bolt. Loosen and remove that. Just below the amber reflector, you're going to come down and there is a 10mm bolt here. Not only does this hold the headlamp, but it does hold the bumper mounting bracket. Now if you follow the amber lens up on the side, up the fender and to the top, you're going to locate another 10 here. And then follow the edge of the headlamp down and then just look down inside here. Loosen and remove this one. Now on the upper edge here by the fender, this here has a mounting tab, so you want to be careful when lifting this up. Slide the headlamp out. And then we want to disconnect our bulbs. On the back side here, you can press in on the little tabs. we have our outer marker light here. We have the headlamp assembly. And the wiring harness itself is held onto the back by some retainer straps. So you want to go ahead, loosen and remove those. Go ahead and use your trim tool. And pop the retainers out. Remove the headlamp. On the bottom side of your headlamp assembly is an adjuster wheel. You would turn this counterclockwise and clockwise to go ahead and raise or lower the headlight beam. You would want to do that after the headlamps have been installed. Install your harness. You want to make sure that you have a positive engagement on the headlight connections. You can hear them snap into place. Now let's go ahead and install the lamp assembly. On both upper portions, we have a little hole here for this tab to install into. And then on the inner portion, we have a little nub right here sticking up. That's going to line up with our headlamp as well. So go ahead and get both of these lined up. Pop them in. That'll hold the lamp in place. Let's go ahead and install our bolts. You want to go ahead and get all 4 bolts started first. And then once we do that, we can go ahead and snug them down. Now we can go ahead and gently snug these down. And repeat for the 2 lower. I'm going to line up our bumper cover. We want to make sure we get our tabs here up on that bracket. Sliding this up underneath the headlamp. You want to do that on both sides. Now we're on the side here. I want to go ahead and line up the bumper with the trim. You want to go ahead and press this in on the passenger side. Install the bolt on the back side of the fender. Secure that, and then repeat for the other side. Right here, I want to go ahead and install your plastic push pins. Go ahead and pop in the base, and then you can go ahead and take the center button, line that up, and push that down into place. Repeat for the passenger side. On the back side of the grill, we have these little square holes here. These are the ones that line up with the little tabs. We install the grill, and you need to put the screwdriver through the front of the grill to turn that to interlock into it. We're going to line up all of our locking tabs across the bottom of the grill. Line it up, and then go across the bottom, snap in the clips. Go ahead and put the screwdriver in and get into the center of that little square, and I'm going to rotate that, lock it in. We're going to repeat for the passenger side. Go ahead and install your plastic push pins here. It's a total of 6 on the top of your grill. We want to install our center splash shield here. I'm going to line this up. Going to install the rest of our push pins around the frame. Install your retainers across the front lip here. And continue across the front. We'll snap in our last one here. Now that we have all of our buttons in across the bottom of the bumper, let's go ahead and install our fog light connections. Go ahead and line up that connector, push it up, and you're going to feel it and hear it lock into place. Install your little clip on the side. Once you've completed this, repeat for the passenger side. Let's go ahead and tuck our fender liner up into the bumper. Let's now go ahead and install our hardware. Now we want to get our fender liner inside. So you can do is use your trim tool and just kind of guide this in and around. Now on our previous fender liner, it was torn out, so there was a series of screws thrown into this. It does not need to be that way. What we do need to do is pull this one single tab out for the outside and use a single screw. And snug that down. Secure that. Then we'll install our two plastic push pins. Just going to install the second one over here. Once you've completed this, repeat for the passenger side. Take your wheel and install it. I want to go ahead and start these lug nuts by hand. Get them started a few threads. This will help prevent cross threading. Once we have them all started, we're going to go ahead and snug them down. When tightening down the lug nuts, you want to do it in a crisscross pattern. Go ahead and torque your wheels down to 80 foot-pounds. Do this in a crisscross pattern. Once you've completed this, repeat for the passenger side.
Now we're going to get the vehicle ready to aim the headlights. Start with the tire pressure, making sure all 4 tires are set at the appropriate pressure. Remove any excessive weight that's not normally in the vehicle. Find a wall that you can drive up to where the ground is level. Measure 25 feet away from that wall and mark the ground. Drive your vehicle up to that mark. With the headlights off, look for the center dot in the headlight lens. Measure from the ground to that center dot. You can use a ruler to help you out. Transferring that measurement to the wall, making a mark with some tape. On the driver's side, measure down 4 inches, putting another piece of tape. For the passenger side, you only need to measure down 2 inches. Now turning the headlights on, it is easier to do this at night or in a dark area. Locating your headlight adjuster and using a Phillips head screwdriver, turn your adjuster one way or another to bring the headlight up or down. Once the headlight is adjusted to the tape mark on the wall, move on to the next headlight. If you're confused because the beams seem to blend together, you can always have someone stand in front of the other headlight while you make your adjustments for that one. Now your headlights are aligned and you're all set to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.